Hello, and welcome back to Movies and Us. This is episode 145, and I'm Marcus.
And I'm TJ.
And this is the movie review reviews genre movies from the beginning sometimes. And today, we're reviewing a classic.
You've done this intro quite a few times.
How do you butcher it all the time?
How do you still not know it?
I know it. As I was doing it, you heard me pause probably for a second. I was like, shouldn't have put the number there, but I did it anyways because I don't care, TJ. I've been editing these, and there was a period of time where I kept butchering so hard, and you kept correcting me, and it's like a good 5 minutes of me trying to fix this shit. Yeah, so I know it's welcome to Movies with Us, and I'm Marcus, and this is TJ.
Hello, this is episode 145.
That's what I said.
No, it's not.
I said hello and welcome back to. That's why. That's why. And that's even the thing back then. Hello, and this is episode 145 of Movies and Us.
I'm just saying.
I'm TJ. How we have not done that bit by now?
I'm just saying it's the only scripted part in the entire podcast, and you can't get it.
Anyways, TJ, stop nagging me, okay? I'm trying to do it my way. We're reviewing the 2000. Nope.
No, we're not.
Nope. We're reviewing the March 7th, 1973 release of The Long Goodbye.
Well,
what?
At least we got in the right genre, I guess.
We did get in the right genre, and what's the genre, TJ?
Noir?
This is a noir slash neo-noir slash... Noir is such a big, broad category. We don't know what it is anymore. Yeah, we're still on our bullshit right now, as you can see. It was funny. The guys at work were asking me like yesterday, like, so what movies you guys reviewing? We're doing noirs right now. And they're like, and I told them, what do you guys think a noir is when I say that? And they all described detective with a hat on a case. I was like, that's what we thought. Apparently not. It's way more broad than that. So yeah, this is finally in the thing that you would think a noir is.
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
It feels like building blocks for what it is nowadays. So I don't know, man.
Well, I mean, it is there. It's just like it's even got narration with him just talking to himself.
Yeah, if you want to count that as narration, yeah.
Because they kind of came up with their own way to narrate things, which is, I mean, good for them for working it in.
I liked it, honestly. I liked him mumbling to himself a lot.
I thought it was fine, except all of his mumbling, none of it really made sense.
Nor was it important, but that's why he mumbles, I guess.
Yeah, but like when you mumble to yourself, you like mumble in coherent sentences and like it makes sense to what you're talking about. And a lot of the times he's just saying random words.
Yeah, so usually like, this guy TJ has no idea what he's talking about. Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Not just, podcast. I get what you're saying.
Anyway, go ahead.
So the 1973 release of The Long Goodbye. This neo-noir was directed by the one and only Robert Altman. Screenplay by, Lee Rocket. This is based off a book called The Long Goodbye, so if anyone's interested, go read this book. But it's also part of a series, correct?
Yeah, she wrote a bunch of books based around the same character, and all of them, except for like 3 of them, had been made into movies by 1954, and then this one was made.
So kind of, it's like the noir version of the guy who did the westerns and that movie we did, 310 to Humor, right? For the most part,
not so much. It's just because it wasn't like one director who did it. It's just all of his movies all her books were adapted.
That's a thing.
No, Leigh is a woman.
Screenplay by, but the books based off of their stuff is by
Leigh. Oh, right.
Yeah,
no, wait.
Based on The Long Goodbye by Raymond Chandler.
Oh.
Was an American-British novelist and screenwriter in 1932. At the age of 44, Chandler became a detective fiction writer after losing his job as an oil company.
Well, I was looking at Leigh Douglas Brickett. She's also a science fiction writer.
Oh, I see that. Queen of the Space Opera. She was also a screenwriter known for The Big Sleep in 1946. Rio Bravo, 1959. Goodbye. The Long Goodbye.
She worked on an early
Empire Strikes Back.
An early draft of the Empire.
Holy shit.
So yeah. Anyway, you're right. Raymond Chandler was the actual writer. It makes sense.
She was a tomboy, tall and athletic. She attended a private school.
Oh my God.
School for Santa Clara, California. She was also involved in theater and began writing. Anyways.
This isn't a biography podcast.
It could be. Produced by Jerry Bick. Bick sounds offensive. Starring some people. So, starring Alec Gold as Philip Marlowe. Gold, whatever. Who is the main protagonist? Philip Marlowe. Nina Van Pallant.
Sounds right.
As Elaine Wade, who's kind of the not femme fatale, but kind of the femme fatale.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Sterling Hayden as Roger Reid as femme fatale's husband. That was that him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mark Rydell as Marty Augustine.
He was the mob boss.
Okay. Henry Gibson as Dr. Veringer.
Yeah.
That's the guy. David Arkin as Harry. Jim Booten as Terry Lennox. That's
the guy everything's based around.
Yeah, the main antagonist. Antagonist, I guess?
I might call him the main antagonist. You can't. So here's the thing. People misconstrued what protagonist and antagonist means. Protagonist does not mean good guy, and antagonist does not mean bad guy.
No, I would say protagonist is the main guy you follow. You're supposed to be rooting for.
Protagonist is the main character.
Yeah.
The antagonist is the main obstacle in the protagonist's way.
Yes.
So the antagonist in this is really, honestly, probably the mob boss.
You would think? I would think it would be Terry.
No,
I guess that's the twist, though. So you're probably right.
He's the twist at the end.
Yeah, but even the mob boss isn't really.
Well, no. If honestly,
I guess
what the antagonist in this movie truly is the mystery.
It's the screenwriting. Am I right? No, the mystery. That's funny, TJ. Warren Berlinger as Morgan. Whoever the hell that is. Pancho Cordavo as Doctor.
Yep.
Enrique Lucero as Jefe. Rutanya Alda as Rutanya Sweet. Jack Riley as Riley. Jerry Jones as Detective Green. John Davies as Detective Ayton. Ken Sampson as Colonel
Colony Guard.
It's not Colonel Guard. I'm sorry. David Carradine as Dave, a.k.a. Socrates. He's uncredited. He's also Bill from Kill Bill. If people don't know who that was.
And I recognize the name of David Carradine. I don't know who he is, though.
Oh, when I say Kill Bill?
Oh, when I hover over it, I recognize the face.
Yeah, he died of autoerotic asphyxiation. And as Hood in Augustine's office, who's uncredited, we have the only Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I didn't recognize him until I read this. So.
Which is he was so screen stealing the second he was on.
Look, that
movie. She said you know who he is.
This movie. by this point in the movie, I was so lost that I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, man, I would love to watch one of these movies together, TJ, especially something like this, because I can't just imagine the shit we would talk during the movie. But it's Arnold. It's so obvious Arnold.
Look, when I saw the body, I was like, oh man, that guy is really big.
Because of course they get him into his underwear in this movie for some reason.
Yeah, well, they probably wrote that scene just to get him in his underwear.
Probably. Like we got Mr. Olympia, Mr. Universe. Let's get this guy in his undies.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the starring. John Williams did the music for this, which is pretty cool. Just want to mention that. Runtime is 112 minutes, an hour 52. Way too long. This could have been cut down a lot. I guess budget, right?
We box office and behind the scenes is alternates. So whatever you want to do next.
Let's get out the way because I think we've done this box office before. Apparently, the budget of this movie was $1.7 million allegedly, which is a lot for something like this. Like I don't know where they put the money in. I guess I don't know how they spent that money. And
it didn't make it back. Apparently,
no, it did not. It made apparently $959,000. That's right. 1,000 guys. So we're gonna do a top 5 of 1973 because it's clearly not listed on this box office and it's hard to get the accurate numbers for that year. So of 1973, we're revisiting the top 5. The top 5. At number 5, we have The Way We Were, which made $49 million allegedly. What with this? At number 4, we have a movie called Papalino.
I don't know.
Made $53 million. Bear with me, TJ. I apologize. I'm so unprofessional. Oh, okay. So Papalone. Papillon. Stars Steve McQueen. It's a French convict in the 1930s befriends a fellow criminal as the two of them begin serving their sentence in the South American penal colony on Devil's Island, which inspires the men to plot his escape. Sounds good. Okay. 2.5 hours long. Not going to watch that. At number 3 of American Graffiti, George Lucas film, made $115 million.
I know of it. Never saw it.
No? You can describe what it's about.
American Graffiti?
Yeah. Or should I just read the synopsis?
No, I don't. It's because it's not obvious with the name, so it's got to be some. I'm gonna guess something historical.
It's like a love letter to the 60s. So a
Yeah,
group of
like now go ahead, read it.
okay, a group of teenagers in California Central Valley spend one final night after their 1962 high school graduation, cruising the street with their buddies before they pursue their varying goals.
You're not what I thought, but go ahead.
Oh, what'd you think? I'm curious.
I thought it was like maybe like an activist kind of thing.
Wow, really?
Like maybe because that was big on the civil rights movement.
Oh, civil rights. I was thinking 70s was Vietnam, right?
Yeah, but you said love letter to the 60s.
60s civil rights? I guess that's civil rights. Yeah, that's fair.
That's why I thought maybe civil rights or something.
I respect that.
And American Graffiti sounds like it would be a civil rights movement.
You know, you're kind of right, actually. That's interesting. Clearly, it's not. It's all white people in that movie. Number 2, we have the movie called The Sting, which made $159 million.
You know what else? What other movie has all white people in it?
What?
Star Wars.
No, that's a lie. Well, which one are you talking about?
The original. The one that George Lucas made.
Do you not count the aliens?
Is there a black alien among them?
I mean, probably there's a black actor in one of those makeups.
Maybe.
Highly doubt it. Highly doubt it, but are there any black people in the original one? No.
Oh, well, not in the original one, no. Right? Because
Unless
Lando doesn't show up until Empire, right?
Yeah, that's Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, it's Cloud City.
Cloud City.
See, no, there's no blacks in the first, I guess, unless there's like someone in the background or in one of the rebel camps, probably.
If you can't think of it,
yeah,
it could be one of the.
He wouldn't be in the Empire. There'd be no black people in the Empire, I think.
He could be a rebel pilot that got killed.
Oh, maybe, yeah, maybe.
So
yeah, probably. So yeah, other than that, because there's no one on Tatooine, probably. There's no one. Yeah,
unless R2 is black.
Yeah, like I said, Sting at number 2 of $159 million. The Sting. 2 grifters team up to pull off the ultimate con.
That's not what I thought this thing would be.
What do you think it would be?
A B movie.
No, that's called the B movie.
I would think it would be about a sting, cops.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Okay, can you guess what that number one was in 1973?
In 1973?
It was released December 26th. Distributor Warner Brothers. It grossed $193 million. It's a horror.
Jaws?
Well, no, it's a very classic horror though.
Like a Hammerstein film?
Like a who?
Hammerstein film?
Who's that?
That's the company that the Universal Monsters have in the 60s and 70s.
No, like I said, Warner Brothers made this.
Oh, Exorcist?
Yes, sir, Exorcist.
Yeah.
When a young girl is possessed by a mysterious entity, her mother.
I've seen The Exorcist. We've all seen The Exorcist.
I made it like halfway through, not because I was afraid, just bored. I was bored.
You said we did this list before.
Yeah.
When?
I was looking at the top 24 because that's what this movie goes to, and I don't know. So I'm guessing either the dumb that happened was one night.
Huh?
Remember that black movie that happens one night or some shit like that? But that was top tier, so I don't know.
That was 60s.
For some reason, I had this highlighted. Maybe one of the Aliens movies. No, that would have been up there.
No, that's 80s.
Peanut Butter Falcon, one of those, but maybe one of your movies. Oh, maybe
No, all my movies were 80s movies.
Not Labyrinth, not what's that one with the devil and Tom Cruise?
Legend, early 80s.
Yeah, I don't know why we came to this before, but we have.
I'm thinking of superhero movies, and I don't think so. I don't think we've ever been here.
Superman, probably. But would have been up there. It definitely would have been up there.
Superman was like 79.
Sure about that?
Yeah.
And what about the dumbass Captain America movies?
No, because the first Marvel movie was Howard the Duck in the 80s.
Batman 66, Superman 78.
Could be Batman 66, but I don't
why
think
we go to
so.
73 though?
Because it was Batman 66 is the year the show came out. That's the name of the Batman era.
Oh, maybe.
So
that's that. You have the 90s. You're right. Mandy, Aliens, the Alien series. I don't know when
List of DC publications. Let's see.
Gen 13. Nope. That's 2000s.
No, 1966 Batman. You're right. Yeah, no, that's not it. I don't think we've ever done this list before.
We have. I remember seeing these before. Yeah. Google it, TJ. Yeah. Kill people's time. I'm kidding.
What year did this release?
This is 1973.
No, the last Good and Bad Ugly movie was 66.
Yeah, that's the 60s. I know, yeah.
So it wasn't that. What were the garbage movies that you've made me watch so far?
So Sing Street was the 2000s. Mandy 2000s. Like I said, it happened one night.
What was the second movie you made me watch? It wasn't Mandy.
I don't know, man. I don't remember the year that was. I'm looking at the list right now. Images. Probably Images. Look up that year.
Yeah, that might have been Images.
It has to be Images. We always forget about that one. It was so bad.
Let's see. I typed in images and it gives me images. 1972?
Close. Probably that makes sense then. So yeah. Wow.
But that's 72.
Yeah, but maybe I clicked on that this year for some reason. Go to the wiki and maybe it's like the details you why I would click on 1973.
I'm on the wiki and it's released. Everything says 72.
What about 310?
310 the Yuma was 50s and 2000s.
Notorious. It's 46.
46.
What about It Happened One Night? Or It Happened whatever. In the Heat of the Night. That's the one. In the Heat of the Night.
I don't think so. I think that is a 60s
Gotta be
movie.
60s.
In the Heat of the Night was 1967.
Okay, well then I have no idea why we came to this box office for, but it was highlighted.
I don't think we did.
I think we did.
I don't remember it.
Because why would I mention? I feel like I mentioned Jesus Christ Superstar, A Touch of Glass. Maybe not. I don't know.
No, I don't remember this list.
Well, TJ, that's the box office. What about behind the scenes?
Well, now I have to get back to. Oh no! There. All right. So off screen, we were talking about how the wiki was the title of the wiki was a different movie than what we got. So misleading there.
Say that again.
Off screen, we were talking about the wiki and how it's gave us a description that's not this movie.
Oh, what do you want to describe the movie? What the wiki said now?
But also in that thing where it gives us that false thing. In 2021, this film was selected for preservation in the United States National Film Registry by the Library of Congress as culturally, historical, and aesthetically significant.
Which I get because people like it, and I guess it motivated and inspired a lot of people. But I mean, I guess as our faithful, long-time listeners could tell by our tone to this, it didn't hit us like that.
No.
Yeah, it hit us a different way.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how it hit TJ because we're going to talk about that off mic, but it's a movie. This is technically a movie.
It's definitely a movie. I'll give you that.
And it's the most noir film we've seen so far, I guess. Most noir we could think of, right?
Yes, it's closest to noir what we've gotten.
Yes. So that's something.
Yes, it sure is. So they changed a few things from the book.
Okay. And you read the book for preparation, correct?
No.
TJ, that was your homework.
Well, I didn't know it was based on a book.
But we talked about this, though, TJ.
We did. I found out today when I clicked on the wiki page. And I wouldn't read books in preparations for this podcast. The books take weeks to finish.
What about comic books? It's the same thing.
I can get a comic book read in 10 minutes.
That's because they're for children.
Yes, they're for children. Anyway, now I lost my spot. Thanks.
Don't blame me for your bullshit.
Okay. Okay. So apparently the wife in this had a sister.
Lane
Nina.
Wade. Okay.
Nina. Yeah, Elaine Wade. Whatever. So apparently she had a sister and a father that didn't appear in the film. That was in the book.
Oh, okay.
Roger Wade does not commit suicide in the film. He's murdered. I don't know about
spoiler alert. See, now why would they get? He was murdered in the book.
Yeah, it doesn't say by who.
But why change that?
That whole scene was stupid.
Like he had to die. I felt like he had to die because he had to die.
Pretty much, yes.
Whatever.
And the gangster Marty Augustine and all of his subplots and plots made just for this movie.
Oh.
Not in the book.
You can kind of tell.
And
like all his stuff, like it was giving off heavy 70s to the camera here. You do your thing.
Apparently, did you catch that he had a cop friend, Marlowe?
Friend? No.
Yeah, there was a guy the guy that picked him up at the police station.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
And he talked to him one other time throughout the movie.
Yes.
Apparently, he's a cop.
Okay.
Also made just for this movie.
Okay.
So, I don't know why they decide to do that, but whatever.
Yeah, because they didn't really do anything with it, so I guess they felt they needed to.
Yeah, and apparently, Marlowe smokes a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
But no one else does. You notice that?
I did, because it made me want to smoke.
It says Marlowe is a chain smokes in Philly, in contrast with the health conscious California. No one else on screen smokes. So I don't know if that was what that was about. But
sure, that's the kind of character he is, man. He goes by his own rules. Society, man.
So
you don't get it, TJ. You don't get it.
United Artists was which was the company behind this movie.
Yeah.
The president wanted Elliot Gould as the guy, and said if you're making this movie, you're taking him. Which was a big deal because he hadn't acted in 2 years.
Oh wow!
Because of was in professional disfavor because of his rumored troubles on the set of A Glimpse of a Tiger, where he
Glimpse of a Tiger.
bickered with his co-star Kim Darby and fought with the director. He was also acting erratically.
You mean he was like really on cocaine back then?
I don't know. That's what I'm just reading what the wiki's telling me.
Sounds like he was on drugs. Or probably going through some stuff. Who knows?
Anyway, for this movie, United Artists had him undergo the usual medical examination, but also a psychological examination and testing to his mental stability. Yes,
well, okay, so you said he hasn't acted for 2 years, right?
Yes.
That's fair.
What?
Nothing.
Saying he was bad?
No.
Okay. Anyway, other interesting things. They picked a weird cast.
A weird cast? How so?
Yeah, Jim Bolton. Who was he?
Oh.
Terry Lennox.
Jim Bolton. Yeah, who was Terry Lennox, yes.
He was Terry Lennox. Was not an actor.
Oh, really?
He was a Major League Baseball pitcher and the author of a best-selling book called Ball 4.
Oh, wow.
Nina Van Pallen,
Yep.
also not an actor.
What was she?
Was best known at the time as the ex-lover of writer Clifford Irvin, who had written a fake autobiography about Howard Hughes that turned into a major scandal.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mike Rydell.
Who's that?
Mark Rydell. He's one of the actors. Let's see.
He said he played Marty Augustine.
Okay, yeah. He did have a background in acting, but was mostly a director.
Oh.
He did films like The Cowboys and The Reavers. And then Henry Gibson, who was the doctor, was another odd choice for the movie because he did TV comedy variety series.
Yeah, I was looking into him. He's from Germantown, Pennsylvania. He was also in the Blues Brothers. He's a Nazi leader in that.
Yeah, so...
A lot of comedy shit in that for a guy.
Yeah, they chose a weird cast for some reason.
I mean, it worked. I think the acting was okay.
It was fine.
The casting was fine.
And then, Schwarzenegger was in it. He received neither screen credit nor lines for his appearance.
I saw that he didn't speak. He seemed like he was kind of confused and didn't understand English at the time.
Yeah.
So, like, he probably, I don't think he was fresh off the boat, but he seemed like he was...
new.
Yeah, you could tell, like, this guy cannot speak, but he looks good, so put him here, guys.
Yeah. Apparently, the opening scene with the cat was a friend, who's someone's friend. Came from a story of a friend, that Altman's friend told him a story about his cat and how he only likes one type of food and decided to just, hey, we're doing that.
Okay.
So he stole the scene from a friend, and then apparently the camera, he didn't want the camera to stay still, and it was constantly moving. They give it a feel like the viewer was a voyeur and the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
So whatever. The original story is apparently in the 40s, so they updated it to the 70s.
Oh, good job.
Apparently Altman had Elliot Gould and Hayden, who was the husband.
Say that again? Elliot Gould.
All right. The director had Elliot Gould and Hayden, who was the husband of...
Who the f***'s Hayden?
The husband of...
Roger Wade, yeah.
Yeah, him. He had them both ad-lib most of their dialogue.
Okay.
Because according to the director, Hayden was drunk and stoned on marijuana most of the time.
God, to be in the 70s in Hollywood, man. God, I'm so jealous.
And Altman was reportedly thrilled by Hayden's performance, so
wow. He
said, I hope it works. Oh, and apparently the Wade's house was the director's actual house.
Yep, sounds about right.
And he says, I hope it works. We've got a script, but we don't follow it closely.
Everything you're saying is just pure 70s bullshit, and I love it, TJ.
And then, apparently in the novels, Marlowe flags, Marlowe the detective.
Yeah.
One of his key features is that he wears an American flag tie that has American flags on it.
Yeah.
But because of whatever Sigmund's post-flashing is, I don't know what that is.
No idea.
This must be some kind of technique. The tie just looks plain red. Apparently, they previewed this film in like New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Philadelphia, and Miami.
Yeah. And
everybody hated it.
Really?
Yeah. It said that they had a like Q&A after the New York one, and the mood was vaguely hostile, and the director was depressed.
Again, this is so 70s.
So the New York opening was canceled at the last minute after several advanced screenings had already been held for press.
Wow.
And the film was abruptly withdrawn from release with rumors that it would be re-edited. Jesus. Which I don't think it was.
Oh, you don't think so?
Because what actually ended up happening, they came to the conclusion that the reason why it wasn't being well received is because they were they were promoting it as a detective story.
Yeah.
It's not a detective story.
No.
So they spent another $40,000 on a new campaign release and included a poster in Mad Magazine. So
what would you do? What would you call that then? This movie, because it's not a detective movie, really.
it's a noir movie. It's conspiracy.
Oh,
Yeah. Like a conspiracy thriller almost.
Okay.
This movie got
Wait. Sorry for stopping you. Do you know a movie this man directed before this movie, TJ?
Altman?
Yes.
No.
Do you don't know what the movie this man directed in 1972 was?
No, I don't know.
I think you might know it. We were just talking about it earlier.
Okay. Still doesn't change the fact that I don't know.
We may have reviewed it, TJ.
Still don't know what it is.
It's a movie we don't like, and we both forget about it all the time.
Oh, Images.
Yes. The movie before this was Images.
Yeah, makes sense. Anyway.
just had to put that out there. So it all connects now. This makes
this movie makes more sense.
more sense. But continue.
This movie has a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes somehow.
Don't know how.
Robert Ealer and Gene Siskel really liked the movie.
And that's why I read the box office too, because I'm pretty sure it's like this movie compared to that top box office, it's on par with those movies back then.
This movie, New York Times listed it as in the 10 best lists for film of that year, while Zsigman was awarded the National Society of Film Critics Prize for Best Cinematography. And so I don't want to spoil the ending because we probably have a lot to talk about, but you know the ending, right?
Yes.
Well, when the film was screened on TV in 1977, ABC cut that ending.
So where they ended at?
I don't know, but the big plot twist.
Yeah,
doesn't happen.
Yes, and it kind of is kind of important for the movie, honestly.
It's
so
kind of like, the whole movie. Yeah, really.
So where would they just cut it at? I guess they cut that part out. I think they. Okay, I think they did. I think I know what they did.
I think I know what they did too. I think.
Yes.
When he gets to Mexico, they explain what happens, and then they just show him walking down the road and run into the girl.
Yep. Exactly.
Yep.
That's what I'm thinking. They just cut that major part out.
Yep.
Or maybe they actually showed him confronting the guy and just cutting that part out.
Maybe.
And maybe kept it mysterious, which I'm kind of cool with that. Then thinking about it.
I like the ending how it is.
I didn't like it, so I think the more ambiguous bullshit would have been more up my alley.
Maybe, but I kind of like the ending.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, we're gonna talk about that. I can't wait now. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
The ending's kind of the only thing that I kind of got out of the movie that made sense to me.
Yes. But I just think it was out of character for the guy. That's all it was.
I think that's the point.
I didn't like that.
So apparently Altman, he liked the ending because it was so out of character for Marlowe. He agreed to direct the movie as long as the ending was not changed.
Fascinating.
Yes.
Fascinating. I just wish there was stuff that in the movie that would at least hinted at him kind of doing that thing.
Well, my problem was in this movie, it felt like he should be doing those kinds of things.
Exactly.
And he didn't. So it actually felt more in character to me at the end.
Because that's what you wanted him to do.
And the rest of the movie felt out of character, at least to me.
Well, see, the rest of the movie is that character, so it felt like that character until the ending came out. Like, wait.
No, see, to me, it didn't feel like that character. To me, it felt like he was putting on airs as that character, and that
really.
I was waiting for the real character to come out until the entire film. He doesn't come out until the end.
How'd you get that from this movie?
That's what I got out of it.
How?
Because he's such a smartass.
Yes.
That he doesn't care about confronting the cops, about confronting the mafia. So he's got to be some kind of badass in order to be able to deal with that kind of stuff with that kind of attitude, with no fear.
And I got that too, because he seemed like I guess a badass. He seemed like, I've done this so many times, guys, and I clearly have a penthouse across these naked ladies for a reason. I know what I'm doing. He's clearly competent, and like you said, he is the guy, but not once did he seem like the guy to do that thing at the end.
Well, that's what I got. Like, I got the feeling that he's done that before.
Wow. I respect that. I never got that.
That's what I got out of it anyway.
Man, I'm jealous because he does seem competent as shit. Like I never doubted his competency. He was always level-headed and cool-headed in situations.
Well, that's like throughout the whole movie when he's getting pushed around. I'm like, this feels really out of character for some reason to me.
Him getting pushed around, or
him getting pushed around and like just taking it.
Yeah, it felt like because the bit where he's like, "Hey kid, you're gonna follow me. Here's the place I'm going to." Like, okay, this guy is just great and suave, and he knows his shit. He's been around.
Although I will disagree about the penthouse house and the naked lady bar.
Oh, what about that?
Because I think we're supposed to think he is poor.
I thought that too at first with the cat food thing in the first 10 minutes. Like, oh, this guy is clearly struggling. But he went to go buy the cat food and got the cat food. Like, he's doing the things. Like, maybe he just doesn't give a shit.
No, I read the wiki. He's supposed to be poor.
Is he supposed to be poor?
He was supposed to be like, we're supposed to think he's like poor and a loser.
I never got that. I mean, I kind of got that, but never, there was no point in the movie where I really, I believe that.
Like, that apartment was a shithole.
It was, but no, what's f***ed up about that? It was a shithole, but also, like, in my brain is like, that apartment probably nowadays costs so much money, and it's very nice. I kind of want to see it nowadays, because you know how much apartment costs.
Yeah, I mean, that's different, though.
For the time period back then, sure. But nowadays, I was like, I want that apartment. Long goodbye, apartment. Continue.
Yeah, but, like, we're supposed to think it, and, like, the neighbors with all the naked girls, I don't think we're supposed to be, like, think that is a perk.
Yeah. From the 70s perspective, it's probably just like, oh, these crazy yoga cult people, ladies are just.
No, it's 70s hippies.
Did I say so? Oh, yeah. These hippie dippy.
Yep, that's exactly what
lunatics are just like. I don't want to be part of that.
That's what we're supposed to think. Even at one point, one of the guys like, I think they're lesbians.
Yeah. No, I got that.
So we're supposed to think this is a bad thing.
Yes.
Thing to an extent, because the movie portrays him as like a good guy to them, so maybe we're overly thinking. But they do portray those actresses like they're idiots. So
yes, and always high and doing shit.
Yeah, like, and not in the world, essentially.
Yeah,
in the same world.
Yes. No, and I definitely got that, but I just never felt like he was a loser. Definitely, not the richest or not the happiest, but definitely not the richest. But no.
But yeah, that's what we're supposed to get out of that. Anyway. That was the behind the scenes.
Wait, why are we talking about that for?
I don't remember. But that was behind the scenes.
Continue talking. I'm just looking at the apartment place now because I'm just curious.
But so, we both streamed it, so there's no trailers. And I guess we're going into the movie now.
Yes, we are. On Zillow, this house, fucking loads, TJ, it's about $530,000. That's not terrible. That's off the market right now. So maybe it goes on the market. It'll be something. It was built in 1923. Not terrible,
but it's not bad. But you have to also consider $535,000 is a California price.
But yeah, that's not expensive for California.
So if it's that cheap in California, that place is a shithole.
It must be. But it looks so beautiful. He's got like his own private elevator. Like he had a private elevator. Like this isn't bad living.
There was barely no steps going up to it.
Yeah, but I think it's like a shit house because it's like he didn't care to keep it nice and. But I think if like a nice person, like not a nice person, but someone.
I think there was 2 rooms in that house.
That's all I need. That's all I think need.
I think there was a kitchen and a living room.
Perfect.
I don't think he had a bed.
No, he had a bed. That's why he woke up in the beginning.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I thought he woke up on the couch, but I guess you're right.
Yeah, he has a little bed. Nice little fucking apartment. What are you talking about, man? And from a place where girls are always half naked, I ain't complaining.
I mean, you're looking at it from our time period.
Even back then, though, right?
It depends on who you were, I guess.
I suppose.
If you're a chain-smoking private detective who was a cat and not a girlfriend, then sure.
Yeah.
But if you're, like, normal person, I'm sure that kind of outraged you at that time.
Well, he had his own private, like, garage kind of, too. Like, I don't know. It wasn't that bad of a house, man. I'm like, I'd with it. I didn't get no loser vibes from that place. I got vibes like that guy doesn't care about proper society standards and yada.
Look, I'm just telling you what you were supposed to feel.
Well, I never felt that, so Hoth, the movie. Nah, I would fucking love to live there. Yeah, just go to the tower, guys. Live in a tower? Yeah, I got a private elevator. What? And there's girls with the titties out and across the house. And I got a kitty cat. Like, come on. It's great.
Well, by the end of the movie, you didn't have a kitty cat.
Yeah, I was kind of upset about that. So yeah, I guess it's behind.
That's a plot hole we never got fixed.
What do you mean?
What happened to the cat?
Well, that's why he did the thing at the end.
What thing?
He says, "And I lost my cat," before he did the thing.
Yeah,
so I know. I think it's kind of resolved.
No, what happened to it?
What happened was, it's gone. What happened was, he didn't have the cat's favorite food anymore, so the cat said, "F you, I'm gonna find someone who has my favorite food."
I'm just saying, this movie spun its wheels so many times, it could have gave me a conclusion to what happened to the cat.
Yeah, I think one of the girls could have had it or something.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
Let's show the cat go into the girl's house or something. I don't know.
It would be funny, like the post credits, if it had post credits, would have gotten back to his apartment and like the cat's sitting there, like, Maybe I should have done that thing in Mexico then, guy.
No,
Didn't have
no.
to.
Here you go. As he's leaving, and he said,
Yeah.
as he's leaving, and he's saying the cat feed him milk or whatever, and he's walking down to go to Mexico. The cat shows up and just walks into the girl's house. That's all you needed.
Something. Because no matter what, that would have fit the tone of the movie. Because the movie was kind of like had its funny parts. That would have been great.
Yeah. So, all I know is that plot holes. Anyway, we're supposed to be going into this movie.
I'm still reading on this house. I'm sorry. Only the residents have access to the elevator, but the walks and staircases up to the apartments are accessible to the public. It's worth a little workout to share Philip Marlowe's starry view of Los Angeles. It's got a good view, man. Yeah,
Views are overrated.
Oh, well, you're an inside dweller, so I guess.
Well, no, it's after a while. If you live there, the view becomes unimpressive.
Well, it does, but also it depends on what kind of person you are. Like, if you still like to appreciate morning air and seeing just the view, and like appreciate the things, I don't know, helps you stay grounded probably. But anyways,
as you're looking out over in your penthouse, looking down at all the little people, yeah.
I would love that. I get in my backyard every day and just enjoy like a backyard and trees and a nice pool, breathe the fresh air. I love it. So I can only imagine a view like that and just looking down on people too. Love it. Anyways, we'll do this review, I guess. So this movie starts with our main character, Marlowe, getting woke up by his kitty cat at 3 a.m. in the morning. And we spend 10 minutes of this guy trying to get cat food because his cat likes a particular kind of food. This doesn't matter to the plot besides his cat. He likes his cat a lot. He's a cat guy.
Yeah, this went on entirely too long.
I enjoyed it because it kind of, to me, it was setting up the tone of the movie, even though it kind of didn't. But I thought it was.
It looked like it was setting up the tone of the movie and setting up the character, sure.
Yes.
But it doesn't.
It doesn't, no. But that's what I thought was happening.
You could cut this entire scene out and...
No.
You could.
No.
And start with Terry Lennox showing up at his place.
I would agree with you if this kind of has a bookend with, like I said, at the end, he says the thing about the cat. Because this 10 minutes shows you how much and what he would do for his cat because he loves his cat so much.
Yeah, I know.
And the fact that he lost his cat is like, well...
But just because they tie up the detail doesn't mean it's a necessary detail.
Can you Google what that sign says? El Porto del Cato. Oh, the thing for the cat. Okay, the door for the cat. Okay, the cat door.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I think these 10 minutes, like, just kind of gives you a reason why he did the thing at the end, I guess.
Yeah, I understand, but like I said,
if
just
you cut that out, and he just loses the cat, and that the thing at the end.
You don't need the cat. At all.
No, but he says the line at the end.
But you can cut that out and it would not hurt the movie.
Like, there's a good reason why he did the thing at the end. Because if not, then like, why do the thing at the end?
Oh, the ending?
Yeah, the Mexico ending, yeah. They got cut.
But yeah, that's plenty of reason. It has nothing to do with the cat.
But it was a cute throwaway line. I liked it.
But you don't need it.
You don't need it. No, you don't need it. But I think...
I don't get me wrong. I had no problem with the scene.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a superfluous scene.
It is. But I think most of the scenes in this movie are kind of superfluous. So there's a lot of things you could have cut out. What?
You're not wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess that this 10-minute scene does fit the movie.
This movie could be a half hour shorter.
Easily. It could have been a half hour, probably, this movie.
Maybe, yeah.
So after he's trying to feed the cat and doesn't feed the cat, yada, yada. Because his friend, was it not Marlowe? What's his friend's name? Harry?
No.
Terry Lennox.
Terry Lennox.
His friend pops by. He's like, hey, it's in the middle of the night, too, still. Probably early morning. His friend pops by. He's like, yo, bro, I need a favor. Can you drive me to Mexico, Tijuana? Because I can get out of here. See his bag? Don't worry about the bag. Let's get out
So
of here.
they're in California, right?
Yeah, that's a best friend drive right there.
Yeah, because California does not border Mexico.
If anything, let's close the real estate.
I'm pretty sure. I think the border of Mexico is Nevada, New Mexico.
Yes.
Not even Nevada. I think it's New Mexico, Arizona, isn't it?
So I have his address. And let's type that in through Google and to Tijuana. I spell Tijuana.
Oh, I'll just type Mexico.
How do you spell Tijuana, goddammit?
Tijua.
Here it is. Okay. So from their house to Tijuana. There we go. That's a 3-hour drive.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. 4-hour drive, 3 hour, 52 minutes. It's heavy traffic this time of day. So back then, it's probably 2-hour drive because there was like nobody that existed in the world.
It's still California, and
but still, back in the 70s compared to 2020s, I think it's just less traffic, especially at that time of night too.
Probably.
So let's say a 2-hour drive. That's not terrible.
Yeah, no, it's okay, I guess.
Yeah. Look at us. Look at us doing detective shit. So yeah, he drives his friend to Tijuana and thinks nothing of it. So the next day, he gets woken up to cops.
So here's my problem.
What's up?
Right away.
Yeah.
Guy's a private detective.
Yeah.
And the guy's got marks and bruises all over.
As a private detective who clearly has been around and knows his shit.
Uh-huh. And his friend's asking him to drive to Mexico.
Yeah. At a certain time of night, too.
Yeah, that's not like I need a ride to another state
No.
or something like that.
Down the street or something
You're
like that.
dodging something if you're going to Mexico.
Yeah, clear as day.
Yes. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So I woke up the next day by cops. And they're like, "Hey, got a question here. Come down to the house, to the precinct."
That's not how that happened.
Well,
They
they
push
arrest
him
him
into
there?
a cop. They arrest him
Oh, they arrest him there. Yeah.
because he
guess.
won't answer. He won't answer questions, and the one cop pushes him into the other cop, and they charge him for assaulting an officer.
Which I like. And they do them Miranda rights, and I guess it's clearly the beginning of Miranda rights because he's got the little card to read off of. So I like that.
I actually had to look up Miranda rights recently.
I remember it was a big thing back in when we did It Happened One Night too, right? Or Heathen Night. So when were they made?
I believe it was 60s, but I did have to recently look up.
Cops questioned our main guy. And then without the questioning, they reveal you were transporting your friend across state border. He's wanted for killing his wife, and you obeyed and abetted. So I guess some kind of degree murder. We're gonna hold you for 3 days. He gets held for 3
That's
days.
necessary after the fact.
That he gets held for 3 days, gets released because I guess what, your friend's dead. Case is closed. He's like, no. First off, no to all of this. This is some bullshit. I'm gonna do my private detective shit.
You know, they could have skipped all of this cop things too.
Yeah.
If they just told him what happened.
Yeah. Well, I guess they don't want to tell him what happened before they ask him, like, so what were you doing? Why you were doing? They don't want him to give them an alibi or, like, their shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just can't say you're under arrest because of this. Hey, where were you doing this yesterday? Give us some shit. Does your bullshit line up with that shit?
But
we don't want to tell you why we're doing the thing.
But they made up a charge instead.
Yeah.
So if they would have just told him, hey, this woman's dead, you apparently know her, she was probably a friend of yours, we think your friend did it, he would have been more cooperative.
Yeah, but I know cops don't do that usually. They especially now, and also today, right? They'll go around why they're arresting you. Sometimes, I guess. I'm not a cop. Look at my.
I don't know. I've never been arrested.
Neither have I. If I get arrested, I'm calling you first, TJ.
Okay.
Just say I was recording a podcast while I got arrested. So yeah, they do the thing. They let him go. He's on the hunt to find out the truth of what the happened.
Because he doesn't believe that his friend would kill his wife.
No, his friend seems like a good guy who wouldn't kill his wife nor be murdering her or get away and then kill himself. Doesn't believe any of that shit. So that's the whole second half of the movie is.
So right in the beginning, we see Terry Lennox leaving
to Mexico.
No, the development where the wife is.
What?
Where the wife lives?
Yeah.
We see Terry Lennox in the beginning leaving that development.
Yes, because it cuts between him and Harry doing his thing.
Yeah, so they pretty much give us the answer right there.
Oh, they don't show us him. They don't show him doing the thing. They show him just leaving.
No, but right from the beginning, I thought, oh, he's having an affair.
Oh, that wife.
Her. Yeah.
Okay, not his wife, the other wife.
Yeah, no, the other wife.
Yeah. Yes.
So I was like, oh, he's having an affair. But I don't know if this is to this movie's credit or because it's just not good. But like halfway through the movie, completely forgot about it.
So did I.
I completely forgot about it and didn't figure it out until the end. And I was like, oh, right.
Yes. Because it shows you everything. It shows you that. It shows you him leaving with scratch on his face. Like, it shows you his whole thing. So you're very right. But yeah.
They tell you right in the beginning what happened.
Yep.
But the movie, like I said, I don't know if it's good or if it just spins its wheels so freaking much that it makes you forget that that's happening. But when he is grilling the wife in the second half of the movie after the suicide, and it's like, did your husband have an affair with Marlowe's Lennox's?
Oh yeah,
with Lennox's wife? I was like, no, it's the other way around.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh. And they actually tell you during when the mob boss is like interrogating Marlowe.
Yeah.
He says, oh, Terry Lennox is still alive somewhere, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, yeah. So they give you all the pieces.
It does. So it's a smart that way, I guess, right?
I don't know. Again, I don't know if that's smart.
Maybe this movie's better on a second viewing.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't want to watch it again, but maybe. Let's finish this. So, Harry, right? Marlowe. He goes on to investigate.
Philip Marlowe.
Yeah. First, he goes to the wife, right? And why does he go to the wife?
Because he got a message from her asking him to come to her because her husband's missing.
Yes. Which seems like something. Why would she do that?
I know why. And she's the femme fatale, and she plotted this whole thing.
Yes, but why? Why?
Because she knew he was Terry Lennox's friend.
Yeah.
And he also knew she was a private detective, and she knew her husband was trying to get clean.
Yeah.
Clean from alcohol. So she wanted him out of the
Well, okay, no. My thing is, does she know about the twist at the end?
Yes. She helped him plan the whole thing.
So why hire the detective?
Because she still has to get rid of her husband so she can inherit all the money. Because he's rich, because he's a writer.
Yes, he's rich and a writer. But why? How's she getting rid of the husband?
By him committing suicide. She drives him to it.
But then why have the detective?
Because he's trying to get clean, getting drunk from his alcoholism.
Oh, that's right. She calls him to get him out the rehab.
Yes. She calls him because he's missing, and she needs him out of rehab so she can drive him to suicide.
Why get the detective that would have the most personal?
Because she wants the husband to see that she is kind of flirty with him, and she's taken to him.
Why not do it as another detective? Why not? Why not do it with some other detective besides this guy?
Because as Terry Lennox says at the end of the movie, he was always a loser, and he would do whatever he wanted them to do.
Well, yeah, but like, why?
Because if you bring some stranger in, they might not act the way you think they will.
True, I guess, right?
Yeah. He knows this guy. He's been friends with Marlowe for a long, long time. True. He knows what he'll do.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess. That's fair. Maybe if the movie would be like better if Robert's giving us that, I guess. But yeah,
I got the story. It just wasn't executed well.
Yeah, that's what my problem is, I guess, with this. Because yeah. So, anyways,
because
everything TJ says happens.
It did feel like the twist at the end was just a twist.
Yes, but like you saying that, and think I forgot he says that you're just a loser. Da 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 da. So I guess that's the reason why he would do the thing at the end. Like, I'll show you, I'm not predictable, and does. So I guess it works out.
That's why he does the thing at the end, because Marlowe realizes that Lennox just used him and didn't think anything of him, and still does it even now, and it's just like, oh, you just do what I need you to do.
I should watch this again. I think I should watch this movie. I mean, I think it's going to be better on second viewing.
Because he even says at the end of the movie to I forgot my fucking train of thought there. He says something to him. It's important. Shit. Yeah, I can't remember.
He says, who says what?
Terry Lennox, when he's going, like, saying to him, he's like, you were always a loser. He says something. Oh, he says, as nobody cares that I'm not dead.
Yes.
Nobody cares that and now
Spoiler
I have a girl
alert, Terry Lennox is alive, guys. Yeah,
Terry. That's not the thing that I was worried about spoiling.
Oh, that's fair.
But like, he's like, no one cares that I'm not dead. No one cares that Wade's dead. No one cares that me and Wade's wife are together, and she's got more money than my wife or any girl I've ever had put together, or the mob boss has put together. I'm living fine, and you're just the loser that I used to get here. And he's like, nobody cares, and the only person that does care is Marlowe, because he got used. He got pretty much beat up, tortured, hit by a car, and played throughout this entire movie.
That's factual. He did.
So, like I said, that's why I like the ending, because it makes sense.
It does make sense. I forgot the guy gave the monologue at the end. I forgot about that monologue. Because like you said, by that point, I was kind of checked out. So I was like, I don't care. So I think on the second reviewing, I would appreciate this movie more, honestly. I'm going to give this another viewing.
That's fine, but to be fair, it doesn't do a good job leading up to it.
No, it doesn't. This definitely doesn't. But the parts that are good in this movie are really good. It's just all the bloated shit that's in it. They can trim this fat boy down.
Like, all the visits to the wife.
Yeah.
There's too many of them for him, but because he goes back.
Let me see. Okay, so like, where was I at? He's on the call to do all these visits and just detect and all that shit. So like TJ said, she calls him. I'm not gonna say what you just said. You just said all the things. Yeah. She's like, hey, help me get my husband out of rehab because I feel like the rehab's not doing well. He gets the husband out of rehab. Husband goes back to being a drunkard, stupid guy.
What I didn't understand about this.
Yeah.
What was the deal with the rehab center? Was it?
I think it was just a red herring because it seems like because the doctor doesn't seem personable enough, but I think the doctor was actually helping him, but also wants the money.
But Marlowe calls him a quack.
Yes.
He's like, I don't think Marlowe thinks it's a legitimate place either.
Well, remember, it's the 70s, so all this is new. Maybe rehab and maybe like mental stuff is like just, that shit's taboo nowadays. So I can't imagine in the 70s how taboo this shit could have been.
I don't know, but like, it just made it seem like that the doctor was like a fraud or something.
No, I just think it was like a California bullshit. Everyone goes to rehab.
Yeah, but I didn't get that feeling because Marlowe was on Wade's side the entire time.
Yes. Or was he? Or was he just trying to get to Wade to get information out of Wade?
It doesn't matter because at the same time, the doctor was trying to keep Wade there.
Yes.
He hid the fact that he was there.
Yes.
He tried to hide his own identity.
Yeah, for the safety of everybody. I think it was just a red herring for the movie.
I don't think the movie's smart enough to be definitely a red herring.
I think it was because it came out. This all came to nothing. I think it was a red herring. I think it was just California '70s shit.
I don't think so. I think it's a plot hole.
Really?
Because it just ends.
Yeah, because I think the doctor got the money because he wanted the money because the doctor still wants the money at the end of the day. But also, he still wants to help the patient. And so when that part was done, like I got the money, still think the guy should get help, but there's only so much I can do. I can't force the guy back here. My hands are done, and then he just ends at that point. So I think that makes sense to me.
I don't know. It felt like they were leading up to the incident that whole institute wasn't real or something.
Really?
That's what it felt like to me.
No, I got like this guy has unconventional methods, and that's why he's keeping everybody like, you don't need to know who's here. You're not the family. Why are we telling you who it is here? The doctor, don't worry about him. Because again, 70s is all taboo. That's what I was getting from it.
Nah, I didn't get that.
Wow, fascinating. I want to watch this again now. So yeah, all that happens. Doctor It's like, patient, nah, you're not getting out of here. But gets out. Wife does the thing the teacher says, drives his husband to suicide. But the main guy gets but at the end of it, it's like he gets the confession out of the lady. Like, yeah, my husband did the thing.
But
like isn't a confession?
You skipped the whole middle of the movie.
What the else is there in the middle? Oh, the mafia guy trying to get his money.
Yeah, but that's my whole point. The whole middle of this movie.
It's bloated.
Doesn't need to be here.
It doesn't, because there's a mafia guy he's bugging our guy.
But like the mafia, at least it seems part of the story.
It does, but it's still bloated. Like it's still too much of that.
He goes to Marlowe and be like, okay, you're gonna find my money because Lennox has my money and you were the last person there. And then he follows the mob boss to the girl's house.
Yes.
And he sees them having a conversation. But then Marlowe goes back to that house like 4 times and doesn't confront her until the 4th time.
Yes.
Till after the guy is dead.
Yes.
It doesn't make sense.
There's a security guard that's all these impressions and shit like that. Yeah, there's a lot of shit that makes this movie just redundant and bloated.
Yeah, and the whole, you brought up the security guard. How many times do we go through that security gate? Why do we need those scenes?
Too often. Especially because when he delays the guy, he doesn't delay him that long. And like I did enjoy those, but I was like, they're not necessary. We could cut all that shit out and be fine.
Like, why do we need this part here?
We don't. It's just people are saying like, oh, it's part of the comedy from the book, and like there's little comedy elements in this movie, and so it kind of like, yes, they have to go with it. Like, cool, I did enjoy it, but didn't need it. It just doesn't help. I can see if the security guard saw stuff and like.
So comedy is not an excuse. It's supposed to be added into the story, not add on to the story.
Yes. I agree.
Unless it is a comedy and it's driven by the comedy, which this movie definitely is not. I'm not really sure what this movie's driven by, to be honest with you.
No.
It seems to just go from place to place, conversation to conversation.
Yes.
And then things happen, and then something else happens.
And then it ends, yeah. So Marlowe's got to avoid the mob, kind of, but not really, because he doesn't care about it, because he knows. And he knows he's also innocent, too, of all this shit, so it's a lot of shit. So, yeah. Guy drives himself to suicide. Somehow Marlowe gets like beat up by the mob because they find a $5,000 note on him, not his money, because his friend sent him that note, which drives Marlowe back to Mexico. Like, wait a second, something's kind of fishy about this shit.
No, so this is another thing.
Yeah,
like Marlowe is being like interrogated and harassed by this mob figure because he thinks that Lennox has his money and so forth and so forth. But when we get to that final confrontation where they're all getting naked for whatever reason, and then the money just shows up.
Yeah.
And then
yes,
it's like, okay, I get the story.
I don't like about the mob guy. He beats the shit out of his own wife or girlfriend.
Well, I was gonna get to that. Okay. But like back to the money thing real quick. Like I get the story. So Eileen Wade, the wife, her husband's out of the way. Now we just got to get rid of the mob boss. So now we give him back his money. She delivers the money so that gets him off of Lennox's back and so forth and so forth. And then she can go to Mexico.
Yes.
Fine. I get it. But it just seemed like out of the blue.
Yes.
The movie just seemed to stop after. It's like once the husband died, it's like, okay, movie's over.
But it took forever to get to that point and drive that point.
But so he sees Eileen Wade driving away, and he chases after her on foot in the car, and then he gets hit by a car. And I'm looking, and at this point, I'm like, I look at the time, I was like, there's like 5 minutes left in this movie.
Yes.
What is this movie?
It's the long goodbye, TJ.
Oh, and you better like that song, by the way.
I didn't.
Because that song is throughout the movie. It's like the only song in the entire goddamn movie.
And I appreciate because I appreciate John Williams and I appreciate his work, but that song, nah, did not care for.
But the two, yeah, like the mob boss has this girlfriend,
and I'm fine with him doing what he did to her. He bashed a coke bottle. I'm fine with that. Sure, it shows that he's ruthless. He never touches our main guy.
Yeah,
and you think he would at least one time broke an arm or broke a finger, something to drive the point home.
He had one of his goons punch him one time.
Punch him. He just bashed a coke bottle against her face, and she's bleeding to death. She needed not bleeding to death, but she had to get like every surgery or whatever she got.
Yeah, there was something in the wiki about that too. He put that scene in there to essentially wake the audience up to show that that there's more going on in the world, that the world's ruthless and evil or whatever thing. It had nothing to do with the plot.
No,
it was
it was there like, oh, this movie's kind of slow. Let's put a bottle across the girl's face. Show some blood.
It's right here. Man changes the script, like having Roger Wade commit suicide and having Marty Augustine smash a Coke bottle across his girlfriend's face. It was supposed to get the attention of the audience and remind them that, in spite of Marlowe, there is a real world out there, and it is a violent world.
I'm cool with that, but I feel like our main guy we're following.
That's not what I got out of that at all.
But like, I'm cool with that excuse.
Like, this guy's a dick, and this girl should run away as fast as she can.
Yes.
That's what I got out of it.
Yes. He should be the one. Oh, you have a cat? We're gonna take this cat from you, and we're gonna get our money back. That should be happening to the cat, TJ. If we don't get our money back, their cat's gonna die.
Yeah, I could do that.
They could have done that.
Shoot the cat and just have a whole John Wick situation.
Something, anything. Like, actually, something should have happened to our guy. Yeah, he got hit by the car eventually, but like that's because he ran.
That was his own stupid.
Exactly.
Why are you running in the middle of the road?
Exactly. Anyways. Girl gets hit in the face with a Coke bottle, mafia. Somehow the teacher said the money gets back to we get to the ends. He goes back to Tijuana because he's suspicious of shit. He goes back to the people he went there beforehand to talk to, like, did you guys fabricate? Because they told him beforehand that his friend committed suicide. He was suspicious from the jump, but now he's even more suspicious because the note.
At this point, he's figured it out too.
Yeah, he pays the guys $5,000. They tell him,
I didn't know that was a real thing.
Yeah.
A $5,000 bill.
Yeah, I forget where I saw it from.
Apparently it is.
Yeah.
When I first saw it, I was like, is that fake?
No, they're real. There's also like $10,000 bills and other kind of $1,000 bills and shit like that. It's pretty cool shit. Rare, obviously. But yeah. So the officials down in Tijuana said, yeah, your friend's alive. We staged it. Yada, yada, yada. Go here. He finds out where his friend's at. Confronts his friend. Like he just said, your friend says, you're a loser. We did what we did. We got away with it. Nobody cares. Yada, yada, yada. And the guy's like, I care. I lost my cat, and shoots his friend, and then walks away. And that's the movie. Oh, he walks past the girl that the guy was shooting on. And that's the movie. And I think it's solid. I didn't care they shot the guy at first.
I thought that was the only part that made sense to me, but okay.
But yeah, after you saying all the stuff, I forgot the monologue happens. I think on a second viewing, I would appreciate him shooting the guy more. But it just didn't sit too well because it just felt too out of character. But he was beaten down throughout this. Maybe I think if he was more beaten down physically, not just
it's not just he was beaten down. He was arrested.
Yeah. That did piss him off. He was held for 3 days. He was not happy about that.
Yeah, he was arrested. He was played. He was being harassed by a mob boss.
His whole routine of whatever his life was shaken up because of this bullshit.
Yeah, he was. This affected him more than it affected anybody else.
Yes.
And when your normal way of going about things is disrupted, it's like, what the fuck?
But maybe he showed more frustration instead of being too like nonchalant about everything. He just didn't seem too bothered by everything just to be able to shoot his friend like that.
Well, that's...
Granted, shooting his friend, I didn't care about him shooting his friend. Like, yeah, it makes sense.
To be fair,
yeah,
sarcasm is a way to show how much you're annoyed. And he was very sarcastic throughout this movie. But as a sarcastic person, I can relate. I could be like, yeah, you say the things you say.
I get it.
You be a smart ass just out of frustration.
But again, against the movie, we don't know him before this. So we don't know how sarcastic he is. We don't know him before this whole stuff started. We just know from the cat waking up to this.
But here's the thing about that.
Yeah.
A sarcastic person it's always sarcastic.
I'm sarcastic, teacher. I'm always sarcastic. I know it was sarcastic. I know this.
Yeah. So you know that kind of person. If someone's sarcastic, they've always been sarcastic.
Yes, but like,
You know what I mean?
some people amp up their
It's not
sarcasm and they don't. So like, I don't know, because maybe he's not like that.
No, he's definitely like that.
Yeah,
because
I just needed something more to show me that he was not irritated, but like just going to like on the edge.
I think they showed the sarcasm right in the beginning.
No, that's not my
with
issue.
With the stupid cat.
Yeah.
Just by trying to change the can.
I love that. I love that bit so much.
Which made no sense because I was like, the cat's not going to eat that because it doesn't recognize the label.
Of course,
it goes by smell and taste.
He was betting the cat's smart enough and dumb enough, whatever, to like, oh, nobody's going to fall for this. He's desperate, TJ. He's desperate. I don't know. I just wish they would have done more to him or showed more from him and other things, obviously, in this movie to make the ending and all of everything else gel better.
Here's the thing about this movie.
Yeah,
the camera's never off of him.
No.
So every scene has him in it. So they're not all focusing on other things.
Yeah.
Well, almost every scene. But he ends up in every scene, no matter what.
Yes.
So it should be more focused on him.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yes.
I don't know how they managed that.
Yes. There's a lot in this movie. That number is going over. There was a lot. It didn't feel like a lot, but there was a lot in this movie.
But there's a lot in this movie, but none of it matters.
Yeah, a lot of it's pointless.
It's just like dialogue.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna have a conversation about.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, like
Yeah.
no, like it's a '70s movie, man. This is a pure, and that's like I said earlier. Like the good stuff in this movie is really good, and it all makes sense by the end of it, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, it's not a good makes sense because it didn't really lead up to it very well, and at the same time, it feeds you the story.
Yes.
Like, it tells you what the story is. Like I said, right in the beginning of the movie, it's just like tricks you to forget about that stuff. Forget about it.
Yeah.
So it's just like, and it doesn't trick you in a good way. It just tricks you in a distraction way because you've been sitting through 17 conversations.
Yes.
And it's just like,
yeah, it's not a smart movie.
I don't care about this woman's brownie mix.
I'm confused because it's a good movie. It's not bad, right?
It's a weird movie. It's definitely a strange movie because if you like noir movies, sure, but like I don't want to watch it again.
I want to watch it just out of curiosity if I like it more. I don't want to watch it because it's good. I don't want to watch it again because I liked it. It's like I'm curious if I will enjoy the whole story.
But I don't even get that.
Yeah?
Like, I'm done with the movie. I have no interest in returning to it.
That's how I was before this review. I was like, I don't want to even talk about it. That's why I was prolonged as much as I can.
To be fair to you and me, I got the movie. You did.
That's exactly.
So, like, there's nothing for me to return to because I got at the first view and through.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm good. And it's not a Shyamalan movie. Let me rephrase that. It's not a good Shyamalan movie where you can go back and after the twist is revealed and everything makes sense.
Okay, to be fair, like maybe I'm a Shyamalan hater, but even his good movies, can you go back and like enjoy not Signs, Sixth Sense?
Sixth Sense? Well, yeah, because if you go back and watch Sixth Sense knowing the twist of that movie, and you can appreciate how, throughout that entire movie, he doesn't interact with anything. He doesn't,
to be fair, I only saw it once, but I saw it because everyone at that point tells you the fucking twist. So I guess I saw it, like, I appreciate it then, but I never felt the urge to watch it again.
Well, that's because you already knew the twist going in.
Who doesn't know the twist going in? It's such a pop culture thing nowadays.
When it first came out.
Yeah, but nowadays I'm saying, like, I think like it's kind of hard to not know, right? As you really don't know.
Nowadays, sure, but like back when it came out, no one knew what the twist was because the movie had just come out.
But so did you want to watch it again after that?
After I've seen that movie a few times, yeah.
Yeah? Wow, I respect that. Because I never had an inkling to go back. I saw it once, like, okay.
I don't ever have an inkling to go back, but I've seen the movie a few times, and I appreciate the twist because they put work into making it, Bruce Willis isn't interacting with people in that movie, you would think, and it gives a new perspective to conversations that he's having with other people.
It does.
So, but with this movie, if you go back and rewatch it, knowing the twist and stuff, it's like, yeah, because the movie already told you the twist in the beginning.
But you might enjoy picking up on the things it tells you, right? Like, oh, I definitely see where it's coming from now. I don't know.
No, because they told you right from the start what the twist is.
It does.
And so it's like you already know the answer, right? They just trick you to think, okay, maybe that's not the answer. But that doesn't change the fact that even you still have that in the back of your head. And it's like, and you're like, if you're thinking about the things that are happening, what that's still going on in your head, you already have the twist answer.
You know, TJ, during our time doing these reviews, there's been so many movies I wanted to like touch up and like re-edit. This one, I think is the one that needs it the most. It needs a lot cut out of it.
I think this movie needs a complete rewrite.
Rewrite in general.
Yeah, so I don't think this is an editing problem.
Really?
I think this is a script problem.
So what would need to be written about it?
Because I think it's just the structure of the entire story.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I think they should have probably stuck closer to the book.
Well, that too. Yeah. Especially like I forgot. Thank you. Like the guy committing suicide. I think him getting murdered would have been better.
Yeah. Well, that's my whole point.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Like if you think about it, he gets murdered. Especially, I don't know who kills him in the movie, but that would add to it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
100% agree. Like, you know who could have killed him? His friend.
You know who could have killed him? The wife.
No, I think that would have been too obvious. I think it would have been too, like, because the friend was already gone and dead, essentially, in Tijuana. So I think him coming back and killing him.
I agree with you, but you could have the wife do it, too, because she's the femme fatale, and she needs to get rid of him.
Yeah. Oh, you're Googling who killed him?
Yeah, because now I want to know.
Yeah, it probably was the wife. Or the boyfriend. Who knows? Probably definitely one of those two, I think. No one else. Who else would kill the dude? But yeah, you're probably right with the rewriting, but I would definitely like to tackle this editing wise because I think just cutting a lot of shit out of this movie to an hour, I think it's easy to cut down to at least an hour 15. Maybe. I guess we'll get to the rating.
Do you have a number that you're settled on?
Yeah, I mean, I'll leave it a 5 out of 10. It's okay. I don't think I could recommend this to anybody because I did enjoy it up to a point, but it's just another movie that gets in its way for being too much of itself. It's like, could have just got to the point quicker. I've been happier. I'll give you a higher score, guys. But it was trying to do too much by being too big, by being too much of itself. That's how I have to say it. How about you?
It's weird for me because, like, I didn't really like the movie, to be honest with you. But, like, I'm trying to give it a number. But the number that I keep instantly coming to is a 6.
Wow. Yeah.
And I don't know why, but every time I think about it, that's just a number that pops into my gut. You know what I mean?
That was me initially because I didn't like it either. It feels like a 6, right?
It feels like a 6.
But you not liking it is like, no, not a 6. Because for me, this movie also motivated me to do things with this because it's like there's a lot of good stuff to this. There's a lot of things I like about this. But it's like there's a lot I don't like about it either, which made me give it a 5. So I was at a 6 or 7 beforehand. I'm like, no.
Like I keep trying to lower my score, but my brain won't process it.
Maybe you did enjoy it a lot more than you expected.
I think I liked the ending. I think that's what put it over the top.
It made sitting through that worth it for you.
Well, the thing about endings is it's the last thing you see, so it kind of dictates what you feel about the movie when you come out of it. You know what I mean?
100% accurate. The beginning and the ending are the two major parts of a movie.
So it's like, I came out of it, but like, what was that movie? But I kind of like that ending. Yeah. So
there's just so much in it that just dragged the movie down.
Yeah.
Like this, I like the comedy shit, but the security guard, like, I don't care. This is 40, 50 years ago at this point, so I don't get who he's fucking mimicking and mocking.
The references were over my head.
Yeah, like I'm not that much of a nerd to understand what he's talking about. So I was like, that point where he does it to the guys just staring at him, like, what are you doing? That's how I felt every time he did it. I was like, I don't know, man. God damn. So yeah, you're a 6, I guess?
Yeah, I can't bring myself to lower it.
I respect that. I'm surprised you're that high, actually.
Yeah, well, it's not a bad movie.
No, it's not. It's not like the bad things about it don't make me hate the movie.
Yeah, no, there's nothing in it I hate it.
No. And if someone were to ask me about it, I'm not going to recommend it to them, but I'm like, you can still watch it. You might enjoy it. But I'm not going to say go watch it.
If you like noir movies, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, sure.
I think for modern attention spans, most people will be checked out after the cat scene. I disagree. Oh, really?
I disagree.
Ooh.
This movie is short enough that people will be like, oh, it's already over. Because I'll be honest with you, when he got hit by the car and I saw that there was only 5 minutes, I was like, where's the rest of the movie?
Really?
Yeah.
I think that...
Because like, I knew it was over.
Yeah.
Like, I knew there was no more story to tell, but it didn't feel like an ending. It felt abrupt.
Him getting hit by the car or the
The whole last 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
It all felt kind of abrupt. It was like, oh, where's the rest of it?
Yeah, because he ends up in Mexico again, does the thing, and shoots his friend. And
yeah. So I disagree. I think people will be like, oh, this movie will hold people's attention long enough because it's confusing enough. And because, is there a movie made nowadays that's not 2.5 hours?
Yeah, I don't think... What got my attention back in was Arnold. Like, oh shit, that's Arnold. I just kept staring at him the whole time, so I was like, that whole bit, don't know what happened there. But like, I truly think if an average audience person was watching this without being critical and just like watching a movie to watch a movie, the bloated scenes of the movie and like a lot of them not going anywhere would people be like cut off. Like, I think a lot of people would stop 2/3 into the movie.
Yeah, I disagree because a normal person would still be trying to figure out the plot and the mystery because a normal person would be like, what is going on? I think a normal person would be very confused by this movie.
I think I don't know about confusion. I think it'd be too bored and like it's one of those movies where people will give like 20 minutes into it. Like, gave him my chance, I'm done.
Here's the thing.
There's so much content out there nowadays. I'll go watch something else now.
Here's my thing. If someone's watching this movie, they like these movies.
That's fair. Because you're watching it because you're a film snob or like you like noir.
You're watching this movie you're watching this movie for a reason, or it's on your list, or something stupid like that, because no one's going out of their way to... A normal person's not going to stop watching the newest thing to watch a 1973 movie starring Elliot Gould.
Yeah, maybe not, because this was on Tubi. I watched this on Tubi.
Well, that's what I mean.
And so, like, maybe like you're scrolling and it automatically plays, or you're scrolling, you're like, oh, let's give this a try. With that mentality, if you're on a streaming service, you get 20 minutes into this, like, this is going nowhere. Go back, go to the movie that's streaming.
Well, I actually disagree. 20 minutes into this movie is fine.
Oh, what's 20 minutes? 20-minute mark is him getting arrested. That's fair. They're telling him, oh, that's fair. That's fair. Like, hey, call to action. Your friend's murdered. Do the thing.
Right. Everything's still popping off at that point.
There's a lot.
The movie doesn't get bloated until about 40 minutes in.
Shit. Because you're right. Because that 25-minute mark, he goes to the hospital. He's investigating 40 minutes. What's 40 minutes at on this website? And the mafia is introduced. He's talking to... maybe that's the thing about this movie. That's why we like it. Because even though it's bloated, it's still paced at a point where like you're starting to zone out and something happens. Like, oh, maybe...
Yeah, but here's the thing. After the mafia first interrogates him...
Yes.
And he sees that the mafia talks to the wife.
Yes.
Then the movie just grinds to a halt for about a half hour.
I agree. Until the guy kills himself and until the mafia gets the money, that's when it starts picking back up again. But that middle section is like, oh, God. I can agree with that.
So that's my whole point. So it's no one who's gotten that far in the movie is just going to stop at that. I think
a lot of people, you'd be surprised when people would just stop watching movies halfway through. Because you're a completionist. You're going to finish the thing unless it really pisses you off or something, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. But
I've seen so many people give a movie like X amount of minutes, like, I'm done.
Yeah, but that's X amount of minutes. That's not 45 minutes into a movie.
I was just saying when it surprised me. More people than not did it.
I'm sure there's somebody out there, but I don't think it would be the majority of people.
That's fair, I guess. And maybe I'm wrong, because I do think... I don't know, man.
I don't know. This is in a weird spot where there's some things were defended and some things were not.
Yeah,
and we're defending different things and what the other person's defending.
Because I'll say this, though, about this movie. I just want to cut this movie down. And I think it'd be a great movie. Because him getting hit by the car and ending up in the hospital, cut that out. Doesn't add anything to the movie.
Yeah, I don't know why that's... Well...
And that's nothing besides getting a harmonica.
No, but I get why it's there. Because he's chasing her.
Yeah, but you don't need that. He could just see her...
Yeah, but so here's the thing. Yeah. If you don't have a way for him to stop chasing her...
Chasing the wife?
He can still catch up to her.
But why is he chasing her? Like, he just comes across her, right? While he's walking back?
No, he's walking out of the mafia who just had their money returned, and she's leaving the mafia's area. So I think he put it together there.
Fair.
I think he finally put it together. In fact, he says when the money's returned, he was like, my fairy godmother returned the money, knowing that she returned the money.
And I guess him seeing her did that, like, okay, I guess you're right.
And if you don't have some way for him to stop the chase...
Well, maybe she just drives away because she's in a fucking car.
Well, yeah, you could just have her just drive away, but at the same time, he could... She's pretty much sells her house.
Yes.
And manages to get out of the country, which is...
Fuck,
You know what I
guess you
mean?
need that scene then.
You
Because we don't know how
I
long he's
think-
been in the hospital. You're right.
yes.
What the fuck about this movie is like so like not good? Like, is it
I
just
get
that
why-
part you were talking about?
Well, here's the reason why. The whole car scene and stuff, all that is very abrupt.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are you running in the middle of the road chasing her? It doesn't make sense. It's like, it's not executed well. Like, I understand
Yeah.
why the scene's there, but they're not executing the scenes, and the motivations don't entirely make sense.
And maybe it's just the scenes are too long.
Yes, and like that whole scene where he's getting up and leaving the hospital takes way too long.
Yeah.
Why is he talking to the neighbor? Why is there a neighbor there? Why do you need that? Why does he need the harmonica? There's none of that is necessary. You can have him wake up in the hospital and be like, oh, crap. And then he just makes a joke to the nurse or whatever and then walks out. It takes 3 minutes. You don't need all of that.
The guy going into the ocean took too long.
Yeah, that whole suicide scene. Why is he going to... That's the worst way to commit suicide.
But he's drunk, though, so that makes sense. Like, why not just hang yourself or shoot yourself?
Yeah,
Anything else.
they said he has guns.
So, like, some of this stuff's too long. I don't know, man.
And like you said, he should have been murdered anyway.
Yeah.
So
it's just...
Like, the scenes overstay their welcome. And that's a problem. Like, that's why I said that I think the entire script needs to be written and restructured. Like,
no, because I think it's all point. I just think it needs to be remade. The movie needs to be remade.
Because, like, the scenes are too long.
Yeah, but I think in a better director's hands and more competent. I'm not saying this guy's a bad director or the images wasn't good. Maybe someone who's like has a better vision, like just get da 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 da.
Sure, but I also think that whole middle is garbage. It doesn't need to be there, and like there's just whole scenes that can be cut out of the movie, and I think the movie needs to be structured differently. Like I think they need to like not give away the movie in the beginning.
That too. Like the first time he goes to Mexico, like they have that funeral thing. I don't need to see them.
Right. We don't need to see that. Like, and there's like a lot of scenes that can be cut, but there are scenes you could add.
Yeah, exactly.
To make the movie better. So
because the time isn't bad. The runtime isn't bad at all.
No, like you can add scenes, cut scenes, and I think you can even rearrange scenes to make things make more sense.
Yes.
So that's why I think this feels like a second draft.
Yes, or maybe a first draft. Yeah.
Nah, it's too
good to be first draft.
Well put together to be a first draft or even a rough draft. But it definitely feels like a second draft, not a final draft.
I can respect that.
And it's because the original script was rewritten by the director, I think. Yeah. So I think he just took his stuff and smashed it into a script instead of just rewriting the script.
Anyways, I don't want to give a long goodbye. So let's just do our thing and just say, now that we did it, it's done.
Now that we did it, it's done.